Killer video for you guys today. Karmaspeed.com. Grab a camo hat, a black hat like I have on. They're New Era. They're the highest quality coconut air freshener. Grab a t-shirt. Support the channel. Let's get in the video. Appreciate you guys. This is a 2017 GTI I picked up this year to experience what it's like to drive, what it's like to own, what it's like to modify it. Today we dress it up in some carbon fiber. I made a decision I normally don't and decided to hold out on some of those pieces, which was kind of a twist of events I wasn't expecting. Leading up to this point, I've installed an intake, turbo inlet pipe, catback exhaust, intercooler, charge pipes, a downpipe, S4 style wheels, and a coilover suspension. To get this job done, let's go over everything we need. So we're gonna need isopropyl alcohol or something very similar to clean it and clean it good. We got a microfiber towel. Then we've got our supplied riv nut. This is like the rubber style. So you drill a hole through the front bumper in the middle, stick this in there, and then when this supplied bolt goes through it, if you want to get into cars, get comfortable with these because there's metal ones for like wide bodies and stuff. These are sometimes used on wide bodies, but what happens is when this bottoms out, it squishes the black part and it expands in the hole that you drilled, and that's what holds it in. So this is like the least strong riv nut, but it works plenty good. Got our T20 Torx bit. If you guys don't have tools, we have a link in the description to an Amazon list of awesome tools, garage necessities. We have our drill right here. This has a 3/8 size drill bit. This is a standard like DeWalt you get from anywhere. That's also in the description. Then we've got 5 screws to replace the ones underneath that you'll see here in a little bit. You can use a regular 1/4-inch ratchet to get your screws out, but we've got Randall's fancy snap-on tools. You can use any sort of power ratchet, wrench, anything else like that as far as power tools. So this is kind of everything you need. Let's start from the front and work our way to the back. When you're working with some 3M tape like this, double-sided tape, you want to make sure that your surface on the car is as clean as possible so that you get a good bond and that you have nothing like coming off. Obvious reasons. Use a ratchet right here. You're gonna have more feel so you don't over tighten that rubber riv nut and break it. We took it slow, we didn't have an issue, but now that I watch it back, I think I recommend, and I'm gonna do it next time. Anytime I use a rubber riv nut, I'm gonna use a ratchet. Get your screws in, really straightforward. Now you can move on from here. Moving on to the rear valence tools, we need T25 Torx. You can use a 1/4-inch drive ratchet if you don't have a power tool. Moving over to the brackets, we've got a 6 size Allen head socket. This is for both of these right here, and then we've got a 13 for this nut right here. So we got all those ready. And then as far as the bolts and nuts, these guys right here, we've got a size 5 and a size 10 for these two. We've got all of our hardware right here. It's gonna take a good bit of force to pull this rear valence off, but it should be no problem. Another thing in the big list on Amazon for tools is this magnetic bowl. We're just gonna go ahead and put everything in here so we don't lose anything. These are a complete must in my opinion. Nothing really goes anywhere, and some of this isn't even magnetic, but at least we have it organized. Any sort of ratchet would be good. Randall's got his fancy snap-on. electric ratchet. You're also going to need a T15. Almost forgot that. It's actually where Randall's gonna start. No power tools required.
If you're really strong, you can do it by hand.
Shoot, I don't know if I'm strong enough. Once you get your fender liner out of the way, up in the corner, there are some bolts that are kind of hard to get to. It'll take a little bit of time to unscrew. Luckily we have this electric ratchet. It might take a little bit by hand with the normal ratchet, but you'll get it, and that way you can disconnect and pop this thing out. Before you pull the bumper off, you want to get this tab right here and this one right here out of that piece above it. You'll see when you get to doing it. Don't let these brackets intimidate you either. Just pay attention to how we put them in, look at the PDF directions, and you'll get it right. We had to loosen it once to make sure it lined up properly. Other than that, just be patient and it goes in pretty easily. Fits good. We did have to push on it with some pressure to get it to slide in. That way we could bolt it up, but you'll see when you do it. Skirts are the easiest part. Use a box or a buddy to kind of hold it while you get it dialed in place where you like it. The self-tapping screws, they spin for a second and then they bite and then grab and then hold the skirt to the bottom of the car. Really straightforward, easiest part. If you ever take these off, make sure you plug the holes with some sort of seam sealer or something like that if you live in a snowy, rainy area. That way you don't have any sort of potential rust or anything like that for the long haul. Moving on to the wing. Okay, so I put the wing on. I was like, I don't love it. Why don't I love it? I just can't really put a word to it. I love this look on the red car. This is the car that really turned me on to getting a GTI right now. It was a style I could get behind finally. I'd never really had a love for GTIs until I saw that one. So I was like, I'm going to do that. I love that. Let's do the 4-door version. It'll look good. Then when I saw it with the wing, I was like, whoa, what's off about it? Then I took it off and I was like, oh, it looks kind of wagonish as a 4-door compared to the 2-door. And so it really doesn't pull off the wing like I thought it would. It's still a really nice piece. It might be for some people, so I have it linked in the description still. My personal taste though, wagons never really pull off anything aggressive, so when I saw that it kind of had wagonish looks, I was like, okay, I just can't do it. Hey, if you want to go get a wing though, go get a wing. Maybe I'm just getting old. Did you notice I didn't put these on either? These are the mirror caps. I feel like they were a little bit too loud. I like just having the ring around the bottom of the car in carbon fiber, and these felt a little bit out of place to keep an OEM plus look that I'm going for. Hope you guys don't think I'm crazy. Check out the look at the end. I'm stoked at just keeping it super simple. One last look at the car stock. Let's pop the pieces on and go check it out rolling. Car I've touched to date. I have some links to the ECS website down below so you can grab those parts to make your car look like this if you like it. Make sure you check out the Karma Speed podcast. I've been interviewing guys like Alexander Vargas, Chris Borges, other car YouTubers. It's just the beginning. Awesome conversations over there. I have a link in the description. The Amazon list, don't forget about it. And the best way to support the channel, go grab yourself a coconut air freshener. This thing looks rad in your car. We have custom packaging now. Karma Speed's really coming up. I want Karma Speed to be like the Volcom of the car community. Nice clothing, high quality, cool designs, nothing too loud. You can still blend in with normal people, but let them know you like to have fun with cars. If you like building confidence in the garage, learning everything you can about sports cars, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We're having all kinds of fun building custom cars now with Randall's help, and then the bolt-on build stuff that I like to do. Come learn with us. Thanks so much for stopping by. Appreciate you. See you in the next video. Tuesdays, Thursdays, Sundays videos coming out.